good afternoon, and welcome to the Rangers Ramble podcast. It's JD here. I am joined by Mark and Kerr. How are we, troops?
All good.
Are we good?
Not bad, aye.
We thought we would do a reaction. First pre-season friendly, really, isn't it? It's the first pre-season friendly, really. So we've just witnessed Rangers defeat Blackpool 2-1. First real pre-season friendly in the campaign kicking off. So hello and welcome to everybody who is watching. I know there's a lot of people in the comments, so we will kick off. And then we were just saying offline there, it's like it's a tough one, and it's not tough. It's hard to come on and speak about what we're usually like, criticising folk and going after heads and stuff, losing the plot or loving it. But it's the first game. You can't really say anything to anybody about anything. So we're not here to moan or anything like that. Let's just go through some of the players. Let's look at the goals. The goal we conceded. First thing I was going to say, Mark. I said I wasn't going to moan. I'm not going to moan. I'm going to moan.
He can't even moaning.
I can't help myself. And the folks in the comments back me up here. I was so underwhelmed by the starting lineup.
I thought they were going to maybe fling a couple of the newer boys in there. And to be fair, when you think about it, I think we just want them to start some of the new boys because the only reason we were tuning in was we wanted to see them. But I think they're a wee bit behind the rest of the squad, so it wasn't fair. I don't think to fling them in for a start, to be honest with you. But I was the same as yourself. I was a wee bit kind of, it's just the same team as last season.
Yeah,
really.
Mark nails it, Kerr. I think he's right. Like, I think we just wanted to see. That's what we wanted to see and look at. You know. Yeah.
But it was always going to kind of change at half time. Where that team started, that team didn't start. That's always going to do anyway. So it didn't bother. It didn't bother me who started. I thought the first half looked a bit. It's just a pre-season game, like you say. You can't moan, you can't criticise because they're just trying to get fit, and it's good to see some players getting minutes in their legs because some of them look like they need it.
Yeah, but I think most people would say most players look like they needed it. You know, I know guys like Tav and stuff like that. You could probably look. He just looked like he was starting half where he'd left off for the previous season. He's worked. One thing about Tav, just to touch on that, Kerr, he's been on the socials all summer. I mean, he done a pre-season before pre-season, so a guy like him, model professional, perfect captain to kick the campaign off, isn't he?
Yeah, isn't. I don't want to stir things any much in there because I know Calvin's probably in the door, but it just baffles me that nobody's interested in Tav with his numbers and the way he plays, his consistency. I mean, there's so many fullbacks out there in the modern game at teams that play with fullbacks like Tav, and you think he's actually better than the fullback you've got. But I'm happy he's at Rangers, but it just baffles me at teams in the Premiership or elsewhere don't even look at him because I think putting me better players around about him in a English Premiership. Tav will stand out, but I'm just happy he's at Rangers. I'm not forcing him to move, but I'm just happy he's at Rangers.
Yeah. Mark, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's probably his age. I think that's why nobody's coming in from, but nobody's wanting to really spend big money for somebody that's, let's face it, it's the tail end of his career. But I'm the same.
Is he the tail end of his career, really?
Well, no, I mean, if you look at it, 30, 31, 32, I know that players will go on to like 36 and stuff like that at the moment, but you'll not really want to go and spend decent money in somebody that's not get anywhere to go, if that makes sense, career-wise and progression-wise.
Are you trying to tell me you're no still in your prime?
I would like
I'm in prime.
See my bones in the morning. They tell me different.
Fucking Optimus Prime. Right. Just before we get into the game, I think we'll probably start with that. Teddy Bear saying it, special mention for the fans down there. Most of the boys for the Rabble are down there, give or take.
Yep.
Martin's even down there, folks. Is
it at the game? Is it just in there?
I don't know. But he's doing with the chaperone, Mark.
Without his carer.
He wants to take care of him, doesn't trust him, but the big man's down there, he's sell man off.
He'll never get back. How's he getting back?
Who knows?
He'll be banned to Blackpool next.
Oh, what?
Anyway, fans were amazing. I watched it on Blackpool TV. I had to pay my subscription, obviously, but see that Brett up, they were buzzing. I enjoyed watching it on their commentary because they were so complimentary about our players, but they couldn't believe it. They just couldn't believe a friendly with fans creating such an atmosphere. They were buzzing. They were hoping that Rangers and Blackpool could make it a thing every year and stuff like that. So the fans were outstanding again. Follow the team near and far, Kerr, don't they? And it's just the atmosphere there and the friendly. First friendly, I think folk were just choking for a game, but first friendly this season. Flair's song, they sang the full day.
I know. It's just they've obviously been in the drink since early morning. No, I think us three the only three under there, to be honest with you. Everybody I know is there. But it's superb. It doesn't matter where Rangers play, the fans will go. Doesn't matter where we play, the fans will go and follow.
Nicholas, hello. Nice to see you on. Not attacking me. Nice to see you. Season's young. Anyway, oh shit. Let's move on. Let's hide that one, Nicholas. Thank you. Hello and welcome. We'll talk. There's a bit of buzz about Charlie McCann in the chat, so we'll talk about Charlie McCann because it's a great goal. We'll get to that, but Kerr touched on it, Mark. Bit of a slow start, wasn't it? Bit of a slow. It was just a pre-season friendly. One question I wanted to just touch on: were you surprised that McGregor got the nod to start the game, or is this are we looking into it too much?
I think you're probably maybe looking into it a bit too much. I think he was always going to start, wasn't he? I mean, what kind of message does that send out if he doesn't start this one? So I think it was always going to be the case. I think he'll probably keep us guessing right up until the first game of the season. But I would think that we all know that it's going to be McLaughlin. But stranger things have happened.
Kerr, is it going to be McLaughlin?
No, I think McGregor will start. I don't think Alan will stay in the bench. He's not that type of person. I hope Mark's right. I see John start just because I think Alan's kind of past his best, but I don't think McGregor's that type to say I'm happy to sit on the bench. He never has been. I don't think he's going, even if it's his last season, I don't think he's going to be willing to play out his last season warming a bench. Doesn't matter if it's for Rangers or anybody else. I think he'll want to play, and I think he'll tell manager that. But hopefully Gio maybe sees sense. I think he'll play some games, but hopefully in the games that people throw cross balls into, John McLaughlin plays.
Yeah, 100%. Just before we get on again, don't want to start rumour mills or everybody panicking, but obviously Calvin Bassey wasn't on in the squad. I think during the game, Big Brian was on a Twitter space with an Ajax podcast chatting about Bassey. They seem to be really excited about this and almost feel like it's a done deal. When they're asking boys for a Rangers pod to go on, they must hear that it's a done deal. So it must be getting to that point, Mark. I know we're on to talk about the game, but Calvin Bassey, what are you thinking?
I think he's going no matter what now. I think that there's too many teams showing like a proper interest in him now. I think there was always rumours and stuff like that, but allegedly there's been at least 2 bids put in for him, and I mean there's talk of even Man United and Arsenal this day in for him as well. So the big man's away. I think it's just a case of where he's going and how much we're getting from him. I think that that's the bottom line. As I said, that he's not on the squad today, and rumours were that he was on a flight to London last night as well. So
yeah,
the big man's gone.
Yeah, I thought I was putting the cat amongst the pigeons earlier on when I said, you know what, I'm going to say this, and I'm actually disappointed if it's Ajax he goes to, and I understand the 80s and the 90s Ajax were a club, man, and they still are. But they're not the same club, they're not the European champions that they were all these years. Kern, I put it in the chat and you agreed, you a little bit disappointed would be, I would rather just went to the Prem. Let's just go to the Prem, give us as much money as we can get from them. What do you think, yeah?
I'd rather went to the Prem as well, because then we'll see more of him. But I think in his mind, if he goes to Ajax and does a season or 2 well there, he's going to end up in the Premiership, isn't he? But he'll make them money. Obviously, we'll have a sell-on clause, will make us more money. I think football-wise, Ajax might be a good move for him. That way, I think he'll play more games. They're involved in Europe. They get a good crowd. They're a good footballing side, so I think he'll improve his game overall. But if he can get 20 million plus add-ons plus a sell-on fee, considering for what you brought him in for, that's an amazing it's an amazing deal for us. And I'd just like to say I was really impressed with James Sands today. I thought didn't stand out as him being done anything great, but I just thought he'd done all the basics very simple, and he was always there and he read the game really well. I was impressed with him today. I think it's going to be a big season for him.
But so let's touch on the starting team and as the game progressed in the first half. Is it going to be a big season for James Sands at centre half though, Kerr?
I just think he likes a back three, and I think if Bassey does stay, I think it may be left sided centre back. And I think Sands is a really good footballer. I just think he's not had a chance, and I think if he does play a consistent amount of games, the fans will see the best of him, because I think he's a really good football player. He's strong in the tackle. He keeps things basic. That's how he goes on miss at times, because he's one of the players playing as a fans player, because he does the simple things really well, but he doesn't do nothing flamboyant as in he stands out. But you've got other players on the team to do that.
Sharpie, you're asking in the comments if the deal's done for Bassey. The deal's not done for Bassey. Still all the rumours we're just chatting about just now. I know a couple of people saying, this deal's done. There's no deal done until they announce it. So until that happens, we'll wait and see. He might be going to Ajax. Hopefully that makes some of these Prem clubs open up their wallets a wee bit better first. Me and Graham had a wee chat this morning about it, and Graham was like, great move, technical coaches, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, you know what? And I'm going to say this the right way. I actually don't really care about how Calvin Bassey gets coached once he leaves Rangers. I'm here for Rangers. I want the most return for the guy. I love him. He's brilliant. I've been a fan since the day he walked in the club. But if they're going to leave, he leaves brilliant. And I'll always look out for him. But I want the most return for him, Mark. I want as much as we can. If that's Brighton, I couldn't care less if it's Brighton or Ajax. We need the biggest return for sellable assets.
I 100% agree with you. I think that once he leaves us, he's no longer. Once a Rangers, always a Rangers, but he's no longer part of our concern. So don't get me wrong. Like yourself, I'd like to see him do well. I'd like to see him go on and be one of the best centre halves in the world, or left backs in the world, or whatever he does. I'd like him to be successful, win things. But 100% with you. As much as we can possibly get for this boy, this thing it's a no-brainer. Even at 20 million, even at 15 million, the amount of money that we've made in this boy is phenomenal. Phenomenal. So, as I said, I love him to bits. I think he's just a big specimen of a man. He's just a unit. But look, once he's away, he's away. Simple as that. No longer, nothing to do with us.
Okay. One more thing. And see when folks say that, right? This is always done my nutting with the Glenn Kamara thing. Oh, but we got him for 50 grand. So if we sell him for 5 million, that's some profit. We got him for 300 grand. If we sell him for 10, 15 million, that's some profit. I don't really care about what we bought them for. We should be selling them for what they're actually truly worth. So we shouldn't be undervaluing Bassey because we got him 2 years or 3 years ago for 300 grand. We sell him in the market value. So for me, 25 is a number. I think it's going to be closer to 20, isn't it? And then your sell-ons might get you to your sell-ons could get you above 30 in the long run. We've seen guys like Davis and Sanchez leave. If it is Ajax, leave Ajax and go to the Prem for like 50 million, 60 million, something like that, was it? I don't know. But Ajax have got it opens up an avenue to go to perhaps a bigger Prem team. And listen, for Bassey, Kerr, last thing on it, going to Ajax opens up a move to a Spurs or an Arsenal or something like that. So he bypasses perhaps the lower ranks of the Prem, do you think?
Yeah, he probably does. You've seen me Ajax just selling the boy Martinez to United, so he does. Now, 1 or 2 good seasons in Ajax, you've got top Premiership clubs looking at you, you've got Barcelona, Madrid looking at you, you've got Bayern looking at you, so he's probably opening another window for himself instead of just opening bottom level Premiership clubs up here.
Perfect. Okay. First half, bit of a non-entity, nothing really happened. Nice to see Kovac going at the end and won a Cavs cross, offside all day long, Mark, but we're hoping to see a wee bit of that more as the season goes on.
Yeah, I thought in the first half he never got any service at all. Just he was trying, he was running, but he never got much at all. He was feeding off of scraps. But big man looks mobile. I mean, he doesn't look massively quick, but he looks mobile. He looks strong as an ox as well. So, and he likes a first time shot. So For me, I think this time at the minute, because there's no other strikers, I think he'll probably do him the world of good. I think he'll settle in a lot quicker because, let's face it, he's playing. He's the only striker we've got. So that at the minute. So it's.
Kerry looked. He's got that kind of. He's a confident boy. He's got that kind of air about him. He looks like he's settled in. He's got a bit of a smile on his face. Maybe perhaps because Katic and Barisic are already there, but he's. I could be talking rubbish, but he just looked settled and confident. You see him on the bench when he'd been subbed off and stuff like that, interacting and stuff. He looks settled.
He does, because I think we were first interested. He said he wanted to come. His mind was made up and he was looking forward to coming. He's played at Ajax before, obviously not as a Rangers player, but he's been before, so he was looking forward to coming Rangers. You can see that with he plays, but like Mark said, he's our only fit striker, and it's quite worrying at this time. I think we need to bring in another striker. I don't know if Roof's going to be about much longer. Sakala, who knows? And Alfredo,
who knows?
Who knows? So it's a kind of collecting another. So I think we need to bring something in. So hopefully the Bassey money, when we do get it, it goes. I don't think we need hundreds in the squad. I think he's added okay. That the signings have been better than I thought they were going to be, and we've not spent a hell of a lot of money. Wages wise, we probably have, but transfer fee wise, not spent a lot. We brought in some, so I think we need to add one or two, but I don't think we need to add a lot. But I do think one or two will probably still go.
Yeah. Okay. The game. We're totally off subject here. What I would want to say, Mark, and I thought, I know the second half we kind of started to control the game, and it was always going to happen. But I thought the introduction of Arfield and particularly Davis, the two. I thought that I'm not just both of them. The game with the scruff of the neck in a friendly sense, especially with Davis. Just the first 20 minutes when he came on, man, what a player!
Yeah, he's just a Rolls Royce, isn't he? He's absolutely. But I'm sitting looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, he's the best player in the park by a country mile, isn't he? And he looks like he's a 23-year-old boy, just as I say, running about, just pinging passes and great turn, great vision. As I said, demanding the ball every time he's dropping deep to pick a ball up and turning and looking up, pinging balls. Outstanding, absolutely outstanding. 100% agree with you. Him, when he came on, it just showed we looked stale in the midfield, and the wee man was just a breath of fresh air when he came on.
Yeah, Stephen's first touch is superb. He gets the ball down. The first thing he wants to do is go forward.
Kerr.
I think in the first half, Lundstrom, Jack were sideways, backways. Kamara, didn't know where he was playing, if it was number 10 or if he was coming back. I think Stephen and Arfield, their first thought is always to go forward. Stephen can sit right enough and play a ball about, but he likes to get forward. But I thought Charlie McCann, I know you're going to mention him next, but I thought Charlie McCann came on next to him, just give him more acceleration. The boy's up for it. You can see he's ready to come into that first team. He is, and I think he's took a step forward again, and you can see the players trust him as well, but the finish, I don't know what you thought, but I thought his finish was superb.
Hey, Kerr. Let's rein him in, Mark. Rein him in. Firstly, my main man, the man I wrote an article on last year, Borna Barisic.
Oh, I thought about your mate.
Yeah, great. Hey, what a player. What a goal that was, by the way, cutting onto his right foot. We've not seen that often, by the way. And guides that one into the bottom corner to put us up 1-0, Mark. It was a great goal.
Great goal. And do you know what? They said in the commentary that he deserves it. It really does. He's been kind of harangued a wee bit last season as well with his dips and forms and stuff like that. And hopefully that kickstarts his season. Hopefully we're halfway through the season. We're going like Bassey who? So. You hope for that, Sam. He goes on a wee run, he gets a wee bit of confidence for that, because we know he's a massive confidence player. I think it's a big thing for him. So, look, that'll only do him the world of good, as I said. And he looked all right. He looked all right today, pre-season friendly. So, but hopefully that gives him a wee bit of confidence to kick on and maybe start the season on fire. Hopefully.
Sorry, sometimes comments appear that kind of throw me, and just like I'm a bit like. No, right. Anyway, Kerr, we make a handful. Sorry, Kerr, what was your thoughts on Barisic? And we know your thoughts on Barisic.
You know, I've always been Borna's fan. I don't really. I know he can play bad at times, but I don't really criticise him because I know what he can offer. His goal was superb, and you can see the light in his face when he scored. And I agree with Mark, if Bassey is going, because Bassey was breathing down his neck at times, but I think when Bonner plays well, the left back spot's his own, but I do think he'll need competition there, because I think he's one of these guys, if he doesn't get competition, his performances can dip, so I think he needs somebody chapping at his door to say, if you're not playing well, I'll take your place. So, but when Bonner's on fire, he's superb.
Yes, and CGM, I was going to just pull this up. Stephen Kelly was on the bench. I think, was it Kelly and Zakowski's the only two who never got off the bench? Another noticeable absentee was Alex Lowry. So that makes us all a little bit nervous. No one's heard anything about why Alex wasn't in the squad. We can only assume he's perhaps got a knock. Maybe. That's what I would have perhaps thought. Because I probably think that if Alex was there today, perhaps Middleton or Kelly maybe wouldn't have made the bench, or Zakowski wouldn't have maybe made the bench. We make a host full of changes, Kerr. Hundreds of changes after that. And we bring on Charlie McCann now. We've been waxing lyrical about Alex Lowry, and he's ready from what we've seen last year. But you just touch on Charlie McCann, what you're going to say there. You think he's ready, he's eager, he's ready to go, isn't he?
Yeah, as you can see, I mean, he's playing games for Northern Ireland as well now, so I think he's took a step forward. I don't think he'll be in the B team. I don't think he'll be loaned out. I think you probably think Charlie McCann will be involved with the first team. Alex Lowry, no being there. Is he injured? Is he getting loaned out? We don't know. Alex, to me, is ready, but we've got a big squad of players, so some will get loaned out and some will leave, because I think we do need to trim the squad down, but I think Charlie McCann's one. The manager can trust Charlie McCann. Doesn't matter who we're playing. You can see he can trust him. So I would always have him in the squad.
But Kerr, why? I'm going to come for you now. Why would you say that we wouldn't loan out Charlie McCann, but we perhaps might loan out Lowry? Lowry's superior player to Charlie McCann.
Different player. Alex is a far better forward player, attacking wise. But Charlie can score goals. Charlie can defend. Charlie's a box to box. You'd have to ask Wally Irvin. He's probably got a better opinion on the two of them than I have. But I just think in Alex's position, we've seen a few players that can play there. Whereas Charlie, with Arfield and Davis's age, I think Charlie's more likely to be involved. That's just my opinion, JD.
Yeah. We're all entitled to our opinion, Kerr. My job as a host is to challenge it. Yes, Ricky, that's must have a knock. I actually tried to find out from Willie if we'd heard then, and William hadn't heard either, so we're assuming it's a knock. We hope it's a knock. Of course, it's a knock. Alex Lowry's probably one of the most precocious talents we've had for a long time, so we'll see. Mark, the finish for McCann. I know I've jogged ahead, but we'll go back and touch on some of the guys who come off the bench and talk about their cameos, their performances. But Charlie McCann's finish was unreal. Great
technique, really good technique. For a young boy as well, just as I said, just stepped in, took it in a half volley. Really good. I noticed as well in the first half he had a forward pass over the top, and the technique for that, it was like almost like it was measured. I never made it, but just the way he struck the ball was beautiful. I think this wee guy's got everything. I think that him, like Lowry, I think we've got two crackers. My only fear is that central midfield and attacking midfield's starting to get really, really packed with bodies, and I fear that they're not going to get the game time that they should be getting. That's my fear with us.
Kerr, we perhaps might, if McCann and Lowry do get some games in pre-season, I know we said this about Kelly last year, right? But and a bid comes in for Glenn Kamara.
Yeah.
Would the manager maybe be willing to let that happen and think, do you know what, I'm not going to go back in because we are top heavy and I have got McCann and Lowry who can easily fill in 10, 15 games a season?
To be honest with you, if that happened, I would take it. That's just me. I would sell Glenn, and I'm not against Glenn Kamara, but I think with these two guys in there, you can afford to sell them because you've got two guys wanting to play, you've got two guys that want to play, and two guys that are going to get better. Is Glenn maybe at his peak was? I don't know. Is Glenn going to get better? He probably will. But I think he's maybe been at Rangers long enough. They might need a fresh move, and I think with Charlie coming through and Alec, you've got two guys here have got so much potential. I know potential is a big word at times, but they've kind of deserve the chance. I think both of them.
We talk about Charlie McCann. Charlie McCann and Steve Davis both play for Northern Ireland. Maybe that's why we use it. Are they the same type of player, Kerr?
They're very similar. Alex likes to press, don't he? You've seen it when he come on. Alex, Charlie, seen him make him one twice. He pressed and twice intercepted the ball because he's always wanting to go forward. He's probably got more legs on him than Stephen Davis has. But if you remember Stephen Davis when he was first at Rangers, he was like that. He was always pressing. He was always nipping the ball away if he thought. He was always going forward. And like Mark said earlier, he still does it. He still looks like he's in his 20s, even though he's not. He knows what he can do now and what he can't. And when Stephen's on the part, he's still probably your best player. But he'll learn so much playing with somebody like that. And I think he knows that himself. I think anybody playing with Stephen Davis, doesn't matter if it's Charlie McCann or even Tom Lawrence or Glenn Kamara, I think they're going to learn from Stephen Davis because he's that good a professional, he's that good a footballer. But I think he's very similar, Stephen.
Subs came on. Mark, Tom Lawrence came on. Rabbi Matondo came on. Anything you want to say? I mean, I thought Tom Lawrence was pretty quiet. He does look assured, doesn't he? He looks like I don't know if playing out that left-hand side is going to be where we should be playing him. Rabbi Matondo came on and done what we'd expect him to do. He ran at them 3 or 4 times. He'll cause havoc. What was your thoughts on both?
I think, that was the main reason we all tuned in. Wanted to see these new boys coming on and playing. And they looked, to me, both of them looked as if they were easing themselves into a pre-season. That's the only way I can really describe it. Nothing exciting, nothing major, nobody trying to really bust a gut. Maybe in their heads they're thinking, get some minutes under my belt before I kind of try and be a superhero. Just get it neat and tidy and do. Matondo had a couple of good wee runs and stuff, showed a wee bit of pace, had a good cutback and that, but I think it's one of these, we're trying to make content out of something it's a pre-season friendly, and it's really about getting minutes into their legs. But look, they didn't do bad, put it that way. They didn't look as if they were, what have we done here? So assured, no really overexerting, I think, was probably the way I kind of took the performance. So as what it is a pre-season friendly, they're getting some legs, and you don't know where they are in their pre-season either. They said a few of the boys have been there for 3 weeks now, so you don't know kind of where they are fitness-wise.
Corey Munster, I see your comment about Bass before they spoke about it, but we'll maybe touch on it before we go. Kerr, I know you've never seen the goal that we conceded, so I'll not come to you. I'll go to Mark. Kerr, let me just touch on something that we maybe spoke about there. Devine and Katic were another couple of players who came on. We don't think we'll see them often this season, will we? I thought Adam Devine looked very nervous.
I think Adam's a bit further behind than maybe Leon King is defensive wise. I don't think he'll be challenging for the first team this season. I could be wrong. Katic, to me, he's a squad player at best, but if you get an offer, you take it. That's just my opinion. The big man will win through a big wall, but he'll cause some goals as well against us. I don't think he's. I think he became a better player being at Rangers, and I don't mean in people's heads. I mean, no, as football, no one was on the park. I just don't think we're at that level anymore. I think we need to get better.
Yeah, Mark, the goal we conceded, Katic just goes. He doesn't go diving in, but he gets pegged, doesn't he? And
he's not tight enough for it. But just on that with Devine, I think Katic a couple of times made Devine look worse because he gave him a couple of hospital balls, didn't he? There was a few blue lights on a couple of the balls that he gave him. And I think that's probably Katic's downfall, is his distribution.
I think Adam looks more comfortable on the right side.
Yeah, he didn't look comfortable at all today at left back.
And if you get Katic hitting short balls to you and stuff like that, do you know what I mean? You're trying to impress. You know your game time's going to be limited. It's not easy for a young boy, is it? Here, there's a short ball, go and do something with that. Do you know what I mean? So, but big Katic should have been tighter. He's let the boy take a touch. Boys megged him, and that.
Otherwise, be like
To be fair, it was a good bit of movement for a young boy that went through and scored as well. So he's obviously anticipated that and he's broke through. And by the time Katic has been pegged, it's who's catching him? Nobody's catching the boy because nobody's anticipating it by the boy that went through. So it's a wee bit sloppy, but pre-season friendly. It's these things are going to happen. But to be fair, I did look on the. He had a good header back across the goal, and big shooter nearly scored for it. Katic.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, see when I seen them lining up, I thought, check the size of A2, man. They're a couple of monsters at centre half, because I thought Big Shooter done well when he come on. I think he looked pretty good. But I thought to myself, that size of A2, man. They're a couple of monsters at centre half. Huge pair of them. But I think Big Katic, we've all said that. I think that thanks, but I think the big fella needs to move on. I think he's not going to get much game time this season.
Kerr, we watched Suter. You've watched Suter more than me. We've watched him enough, and we watched him enough last season doing that SPL pod.
Yeah,
he's a player, man. He was, for me, other than Craig Gordon, he was one of the players of the years for the full season in Scotland for me last year. He was superb. I know he had a few injuries, but see if he wasn't injured so much, Kerr, he wouldn't be in the SPL and probably wouldn't be with Rangers, would he?
No, he'd be down in England by now because he was like that when he was younger, but it's just his injuries and it's held him back, because John's a super footballer. He can defend, but he can play the ball short, he can play it long, he reads the game really well, but it's his injuries that's held him back. He's just been very, very unlucky with injuries over his career. He seems to get a good run of games and he suddenly gets a wee niggle here and there and he keeps him out for a while, and touch wood, it doesn't happen when he's at Rangers. I'd just like to see him get a full season under his belt, because I think him and Katic could be a class act together.
Okay. Rangers beat Blackpool 2-1. First 90 minutes pre-season friendly is done and dusted. I'm going to say thanks to everybody in the comments. If you want to fire a couple of questions in or anything you want to talk about, quickly fire it in. We'll maybe go on for another wee 10. Curry had put in earlier on that there's now reports that Ajax have upped their bid to 20 million. So that's perhaps maybe the figure mark. I would only be taking, for me, I'd only be taking 20 if there's add-ons to that, 20 plus something. There's all this, what are these rumours, Kerr or Mark, or whoever, jump in, whoever. There's all these rumours that Ajax don't do sell-ons and Ajax don't do add-ons. What's this?
I think they're seen as a kind of blueprint for the selling club, aren't they? They're seen as that kind of.
They can't say, Mark, that we don't do sell-ons because they're trying to act as if Bassey's their development. He's not their development. They buy him a fuzz for 20 million and they sell him next year for 50. It's not them that developed him. It's, if you know what I mean.
Right, no, but look, the bottom line is that if they don't want to put add-ons in it, they're not getting them.
I know.
Simple. So I think as well, they don't generally spend that kind of money. That kind of 25 million's got to be up there with the most that they've spent on it. So they don't generally spend that kind of money. They're seen as we'll generate players and it's that conveyor belt of we make good players through our youth and we sell them for big money. And I think that everybody's getting their knickers in a twist about that and saying, I don't even know where it came from. It sounds like somebody's just made it up and everybody's like, we'll run with that. So I don't understand.
Mark, has Jeffrey made that one up with Big Bassey seen at your pad in Spain?
Well, I didn't want to say nothing, but obviously
Give
me £100 for the week.
Kerr, it is crazy profit. I get it, but what do you think of that, Kerr? I hate that chat. I don't want to hear we go for £300,000, we sell him for 20. What? We need to sell him for what he's worth.
I just hope JD, we don't take the first offer. I just hope if we know there's 2 or 3 clubs interested, then obviously Bassey of his idea where he wants to go. But Rangers should let other clubs have a wee bit of a bid more if they really want him that much, because in the days of a player, we don't have to sell him by all accounts. We don't need the money, so we don't have to sell him. Will we get that money again? I think we probably would. but we don't have to sell him. So I just hope we don't take the first offer that comes in. Say somebody says 20 million, all right, let's take it, because Premiership clubs get far more money than that. They lose more money than that and silly things. So I think we should just let it play out and we'll just take a first offer. But I mean, they sold the boy to Man United for, I don't know how much it was, 49 million or 50 odd million, but there's add-ons attached to it and they're selling. So Ajax must do that. I don't know who says they don't, but Ajax must do that as well, because no club doesn't. Because you can't, they must do, because that's how they get. If they're selling, like they sell Frankie de Jong to Barcelona, if Barcelona sell money to, I bet you Ajax get a cut of that as well. I'm not just going to no do add-ons and selling, so I'm not sure. I don't think it's true, but I think they do.
The thing is, Kerr, if they have up their bid to 20, I don't think that probably is a second bid, because the chat was it the Times or somebody else had said, was their initial bid not 18 or 19? Brighton had bidded 16, there was in numbers that we'd heard. So maybe that's Ajax stating up their bid to say, well, okay, 20. And I feel a lot of people at Gallant Pioneers saying it, a few folks saying, I think when you get to 20, I don't think Rangers will say no to that. But,
me neither, but I think
I'm on the phone, Mark.
Some saying there's no beer left in the fridge.
Like Calvin.
With you, Aaron, of course there isn't. If Bassey goes, let's touch on this, Mark. If Bassey goes, he's that versatile. We probably do need to buy a left back. Callum C, you done me there, mate. I must have dyslexic. I swear I read we could buy another left back and centre back.
Left back, centre back, and I would go for a striker as well. See if we get the money, why not? I think that's what's needed. We need the left back, definitely a centre half. I think Souters get prawn crackers for legs.
I don't know that. We need to think we give John Souttar a chance. I've got high hopes for Souttar.
I'm 100% give him a chance, but track record.
Aye.
The Hollander, same again. His ankles are made of glass. Roof, where is he? What's happening with him? Same again. Alfie, when's Alfie coming back? He's still to go through a pre-season. Do you know what I mean? So, as it stands, we've got one striker at our club. One striker. And if Bassey goes, we've really got one left back. We're struggling for numbers in centre half. But in my opinion as well, I think Liam King, I think the wee man's got everything. I don't understand why we're not just saying, well, do you know what? Let's give this boy a chance. But
it's a tough position to come in at. You're old in it. It's a very tough position.
For me, he's got everything, but it's a composure thing at centre half, and he's definitely got it. See, the composure in the boy is second to none. So I don't know. Give him a chance. The boy can pass the ball. He can tackle. He's fast enough. As I say, that they probably will bring another centre half in, and I think Katic away. I don't think the likes of Roof. You're not going to get shot at Roof now. You're not going to get shot at Hollander. Although the two of them are good players when they're fit. So, but you're not getting shot at him, because people are just going to look at his record and go, unless I'm getting him for nothing, we're not taking a punt. We're not going to spend 3, 4, 5 million, even 2 million or 3 million on a player that's going to give you 16 games a season. So we're stuck with him. It's as simple as that. So I think we're going to need left back, centre half, and another striker.
It's mad, Kerr. I agree with Mark. We're talking about Kemar Roof and Philip Hollander being stuck with them, because they might only give 16 to 18 games a season, but see if they're fit, see during the games, they're guys that can impact the starting 11, they bother. Philip Hollander's arguably my best defender.
He has, and Roof's fit, he can score goals. The season one in the league, he was a total goal scorer, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong, if I remember correctly. So they can, but it's this time. It's a time they spend out a team. It's the issue, and they're getting paid quite handsomely. And you don't want guys who can make an impact in the park to be sitting in the stand all season. And if you're struggling at times, and I said earlier on about Souttar, I meant to say Souttar and Golson. I said Katic, but I meant to say Souttar and Golson. But the centre half, I don't think we'll buy a centre half, because I think we're overcrowded there, unless one or two of them leave. Because I don't think you'll bring somebody else in just to. I think the squad has to be. I think Ross Wilson knows. Jill probably knows it as well. The squad has to be trimmed before any more incomings, because what's the point of having a big, massive squad if you're only going to utilise some of it? Another half are injured, another one's only going to be playing. Players like even Middleton have to go because I think like Middleton's due a testimonial. No. But you know what I mean? He's been loaned out that much and nobody wants to say, I'll take him on. Katic was the same. He went to Ajax Split, was it? And never get much game time and be an option to buy I don't know if it was true, but and he's back here, so some players we're struggling to sell, other players we're struggling to keep. So it's kind of
see somebody like right. So you need if we play three at the back, perhaps, but even if we go two centre halves, you need at least 5 to fill that gap.
Yeah.
Right, you can't just have 4. 4's not enough. So somebody like Katic for me, there's no point in selling him and bringing somebody else in. Katic is good enough to be a 5th choice down the pecking order. If you go down the list and Katic is your last option, I'd happily play Katic against Livingston or Dundee or he's played against the other mob before and scored and all that. So
do you think the manager would pick Katic before Sands or King?
Maybe before King. I don't think he would pick him before Sands now. No.
Sands is a better footballer than Katic. Sands when he loses the ball.
Do you need a footballer for centre half on certain games? I think James Sands would get bullied in there. I think he's a better defensive midfielder.
I think that Big Katic is perfect for the Scottish game. I think that the rough and tumble in a league.
He probably is, but I think he was the type of guy that could maybe, like last season, we cost ourselves the league with some of the performances in defence, and I think Katic could add to that, especially if McGregor's in goals. You're going to have a Ross County situation all over again, hopefully not, but I think it's a risk. We know what he offers, but we also know he's a bomb scare at times, so I think it's a risk. I think if somebody come in and says, we'll give you $1 million or $2 million, I think Rangers would take it, but I think if he's here and nobody's willing to take him, then we just have to go on with it. But I don't think we'll bring anybody in unless we put numbers out the door, because we can't just keep buying players for the sake of buying players.
Sands is a midfielder, but he's played centre half. He's played in the
centre
back
half.
three.
He's played left back, and he's played defensive mid. So he's a utility player. He can play different positions. I don't think he probably knows his best, and he can use his left and his right foot, which a lot of players can't.
He's probably played centre half more than he's played defensive midfielder. So I've had a chat about Roof's hair transplant went bad and it's infected. So I don't know if that's fair enough. So
that in Turkey.
Aye.
That what happened to you?
Infected hair transplant. Right. I think we'll end it there. 45 minutes out of a non-entity of a pre-season friendly, which I didn't even write any notes down for. Okay, the season is officially up and running.
Actually, forgot Jack Simpson, by the way.
Aye.
Who's he, Jack? Who?
Listen, we should never do that because it's no fair. The boy's a Rangers player. We're all sitting here laughing. Fucking, we've got no chance of getting into
he's in the squad before any of us. We're all jealous of him. But no, I mean, he's always here as well. So that's what I mean.
Sorry for the boy. I feel sorry for the boy. Boy's not a chance. No, that's same with Stephen Kelly and all. Never had a chance. I feel sorry for him.
Listen, Stephen Kelly's a good footballer. Jack Simpson ain't.
Well,
I think Jack Simpson will go. I think we'll just let him go. Anyway. We next pre-season friendly is it West Ham next week?
Tuesday night. Aye.
Tuesday night. You gone, Kerr?
No, I'm wanting to eat, so I'll just watch it.
You work here at home now, don't you? Fuck's sake.
Anyway, I'll be at the Spurs game, but I'm not going to go to the West Ham game.
No doubt we'll probably be back Tuesday night then for a wee gab about that friendly. We'll see if the Overlord is up for doing it. But thanks everybody.
Still stuck in Blackpool.
Still trying to go.
I'm surprised he was allowed to go the last away trip he went on, man. Would it take him 3 days to get home? You're stuck in London for a night, Gel. What an absolute fool, man, isn't it? Anyway, so thanks for joining us, folks. That was a good gab. The season's off and running. We'll see what happens. Probably more signings coming and people going out the door. But yes, this is when I gab and I just exit. You know how what's happening, and I get myself set to press the right buttons. I always forget. I always just talk whilst I'm doing stuff. But thanks for joining us. All the comments are appreciated. Please remember, like and subscribe. Martin set a goal. Boy, he's a fool. I'm kidding on. So we want to get everybody involved in the Rangers rabble. We want to take us off. As you know, the phone-ins have been going on. And I was sceptical about the phone-ins, man. But they're brilliant. We'd won, was it last night we'd won? Friday night, won it? I've said this before. It was an absolute shocker last night, though.
I was supposed to go on it, but I couldn't go on it because I didn't.
Did you watch it, Kerr? Martin
No.
Drapp speakers. Brian was shaking. Oh, it was funny. It was funny. Wilf was watching the rugby league.
I know Wolf was watching the rugby. Aye.
We've been stern words with folk, I think. Anyway, all joking aside. Thanks for joining us, folks, and we will see you all very, very soon. Cheers.